Welcome back to the channel. As ever, you can find me over on Instagram at the House of Langford and Overall Sews. I'm also on Ravelry as Mad X Stitcher, and this is my monthly podcast, so it's time to round up October. I'm actually filming this on the no, it's not October, it's November. I'm actually filming this on the 29th of November because I'm not going to have the time to do it tomorrow, which is obviously the last day of November, and I wanted it up before Vlogmas. So the aim is to get it recorded today, get it edited, and get it up on the channel tomorrow. I'm actually hoping to get the Christmas tree up tomorrow, so start off Vlogmas properly. And yeah, so my name is Maddison, you can call me Maddie, and I'm coming to you from my home in Glasgow, Scotland. I obviously have quite a southern accent though. I'm originally from Essex, and I have been up here since August. My husband moved up in May of last year. So with that being said, you can generally find quite a lot of crochet on my channel and in the podcasts. Every now and then I do pick up some cross stitch, and very rarely do I pick up knitting. I can knit, I just prefer to crochet because I find it a lot quicker and it uses up more of my yarn that I need to use. Yeah, I still consider myself like a beginner knitter, even though I have, if you've seen previous episodes, you will know that I have done a few pieces of knitting in my time. So I can cable, and I can do things like moss stitch and rib. I do have a long-standing whip at the moment, which is a Christmas sock, so that might pop up over Christmas. I don't know. It's one of those things where I can just sit and just knit round and round and round, so you might see it over Vlogmas, you never know. Anyway, that's quite a lot of waffle. Yeah, so there is also a Facebook page and group linked to this channel. There is also a Ko-fi account if you wanted to sponsor in any way. My aim in the future is to produce some sort of behind the scenes videos. So for anyone who wanted to subscribe to those, they would be a specific perk for anyone, like a Patreon account, I guess. If you wanted to sponsor the channel in any way, that would be something that only you guys would view. So yeah, it's November. A lot has happened this month, and yeah. So to start off with, I lost my nan last week. She is the one who taught me to knit and crochet. She taught me how to use her sewing machine, and she is, I guess, the reason why I chose the career I chose. So I went into fashion design, and then later on went into teaching so that I could pass on those skills to the next generation. Yeah, so it's been a sad week, I guess. Anyway, rather than dwell, I thought I would just jump on and share with you what I have been up to for this month. So to start off with, I'm wearing my Stitches Tees Yarnicorn t-shirt in the ombre pink on grey because I love it. I picked this up at EAYF this year, I think, because I hadn't packed a t-shirt and I needed a t-shirt, so I wanted something that was pink. And I am wearing actually my Bobble Heart cardigan, which is an Iron Lamb pattern. However, it has never really fit me properly. Now, I am bigger now than when I originally made it, But even so, I had to adjust and add in sort of like a go day into the underarm so I had more movement, because there is no way that would have fit me otherwise. But yeah, I don't wear it because it doesn't sit on me right. So I'm actually thinking of selling it on or gifting it. Haven't decided yet. So anyway, that is what I'm wearing. This is actually made with Deramore's Aran. I think it's Studio Aran, and I can't remember the colour. Yeah. So anyway, that is the cardigan I'm wearing, and I need to show you what I've been doing. So every month I set myself some plans or goals of things I want to finish or work on or even start, and I had 3 on my list for November. The first one was to finish the Wine and Roses blanket that I was testing for Robin Parent, which I have done. I finished it today. I didn't want to record until I had finished it because I knew that was my target, and that was the last thing I was going to be able to finish for November. So I wanted to make sure there was a finish for this month because that is the only one I have. I also wanted to finish off Froddo the Wizard Frog from the Crochet Society cozy box, or no, not cozy box, spooky box. But that has not had any work, so I haven't even touched that box. Yeah, sad. And lastly, I wanted to continue with the Gingerbread CAL. Now, I have not got as far as I'd hoped with the Gingerbread CAL, mainly because I've been trying to finish off the Wine and Roses. Now that I've done that, I can go back to the gingerbread, so yay! So, like I said, I only have 1 finish. So we're going to jump straight into my finishes, and we're going to talk about the Wine and Roses blanket. Now, you may have seen, if you've seen last episode, I showed it. I think I had like so many rows left to go. Yeah, I think I was almost finishing section, like the 4th repeat. And I showed you all the ends on the back. Now, they are not woven in because I was just aiming to get a border on it. I can weave in the ends, you know, in an evening or over a few evenings, because there's quite a few. And yeah, it's not the main crochet of the blanket, so I consider, even though I've got ends to weave in, I still consider it finished. But yes, so I have been using Starcraft Special Aran with wool in off-white and shortbread. The off-white was discontinued, which means I have had to, I did originally buy 2 balls in April. I've used 1 full ball, and they are 400 gram balls for this blanket, and then had 100 grams that I hadn't used for a different blanket. So I've used 500. And then realised that even that was not going to make it to the end. So I had to pull back the last round on several, I think I had 8 sets of granny squares. I've had to pull back the last round on those because I had started bordering everything on a different project in order to then start sewing it together. But it was the same yarn. So yeah, I've pulled those back. I have used that yarn. So I have used a total of 537 grams of the off-white colour. I have used 485 grams of the shortbread colour. I also then used Starcraft Special Aran, so the one not with wool, and I used 1 100 gram ball of lipstick. And then for the green, I was using Jungle, which is Aldi's So Crafty yarn in the colour Jungle. And I used 158 grams of that. Again, that is a 400 gram ball. So that brings my total to 1,280 grams of Aran yarn in this blanket. So it's quite weighty and it is huge. So I do have pictures to put up for you because it is not going to fit in view in the slightest. But what I also wanted to do was do the blanket drop. So I'm going to try and set up my camera at some point, or get my friend to do it tomorrow. I could do that tomorrow. I don't know. I'll get someone to help me. I want to do the blanket drop so you can see it in its full glory and just see the scale of this blanket. So without further ado, oh, also the pattern is by Robin Parent. I did mention that, and her handle on Instagram is crochet.with.may. As always, I will put any links or information or names of people or pattern names in the description box down below, so do check that. But this is the blanket. So where's the top? That's the top? No, that's the bottom. This is the top. It is so cozy. It really is. And it's got wool in it, so it's going to be nice and warm. But look, you can see it's very wide, and it covers me, yeah, past my feet. I can't actually put it past my feet because I've got my step that my camera is on. But yeah, this is the pattern. So it is a mosaic crochet pattern. It's designed to be made using 2 colours, and I decided to go a bit extra and do 4 colours so that the roses stood out, and I am so pleased that I did. The border, what I have done is an enclosed border. I have done 1 round of front loop double crochet in the shortbread on both sides, then 1 round of trebles through both loops on both sides, and then I have done 1 round of back loop double crochet in the white, because that's what I had. I'd already wound off the yarn from the previous project, so I was going to use it. Yeah, 1 round of the white, and on the back I did it in green, and then I have joined both halves together with the shortbread, just a double crochet all the way around, and I am so pleased with myself because I had the correct amount of stitches. Yep, I'm very happy with that. So the only thing was, I was doing the last side, the last long edge to join it together. So this one, is it this one? Yeah, this edge to join, and then I realized that when I'd got to the previous corner I had missed a white stitch in the corner. I only had 1 now, so I had to, and I stopped the gold here, ripped back the white because apparently I'd also started that white here. So yeah, I only had to pull back that one side. I didn't have to pull back the whole lot, which I was so relieved about. And like it feels massive. Like I said, it's so nice and cozy. But yeah, I'm very, very pleased with this blanket, and you can still see all the ends, but I don't care. Yeah, at some point I will weave the ends in. I want to maybe gift this to a friend of ours. I haven't fully decided because I'm not sure. I don't know yet. Anyway, but I need to get the ends woven in first regardless. So yeah, that's the Wine and Roses blanket from Robin Parent, and I have loved every minute of it. So there is a project page on my Ravelry for this as well, and I'll put all the information over there as to how I did slightly alter the pattern. So to start with, you're supposed to start with this row, the top row of the roses. I started with just a plain gold row and added an extra part of the pattern, just so I had a full rose, and I did that the same top and bottom, so they're finished, so you get a full rose. I just missed out the center stitch, which would be for the other half of the leaf section. So I have put those notes already on Ravelry. I need to change my totals for my yarn now that I've finished, and yeah, I need to weave in the ends and wash it. That is the only thing left to do on this. But like I said, it is super cozy. I hadn't really used the Starcraft Special Aran with wool before. I think this is actually the first project I've used it in, and I thought it would be quite woolly to the touch, but actually it's softer than the acrylic. I was really surprised. So yeah, the only one of these yarns that doesn't have the wool content in it is the red, the lipstick, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, one finished blanket. I'm done, and I'm so happy. I love it. It's so pretty. Yeah, I do highly recommend Robin's patterns because they are so easy to work up. So yeah, one finished blanket. So as that is the only finish I have for the month, it's time to move on to my whips, my works in progress. And there are 4 whips. One you have seen already. No, 2 you've seen already. I'm not sure if you've seen another one. Anyway, I have 2 blankets, 1 amigurumi, and 1 cross stitch. So the first one, I don't know what's just flown off. Oh, it's my tag. It's my tag. It says blanket. I'll grab it in a minute. So this is my On the Seashore blanket by Rosina Plain, or Rosina Crochet. I have finished section 2, or part 2 of the cowl for it anyway, of the pattern. I am actually going to now add the seahorses in between sections 2 and 3. So again, I'm only going to show you this folded because it's quite wide. Let me see, does it fit in? Yeah, it fits in view. So yeah. So in October, at the beginning of October, so the end of September's podcast, I put in the ghosty as my stitch marker to show my progress. And by the end of October, I was here where my blue D20 is, this row here. Yeah, so I have now finished section 2. So everything above that stitch marker is work I have done in November. So it's a little bit less than October, but I don't mind. Like I said, my main aim was to finish the Wine and Roses blanket, so I've done that. So I'm going to take off both of these stitch markers now and put a new one in. Although I don't think I need to, because I finished a section. So the next section is going to be quite obvious that it's different. So yeah, I'm going to put the seahorses in, but the main colour on the seahorses for me is going to be this pebble colour and have the blue in the background. So these two are going to swap. Now with the pattern you start with the main colour, and obviously I finished on that colour, so I'm going to have to put in a row. I think what I might do, actually, Kirsty and I were talking about how I could break it up, and you see this section here with the puff stitches, I might do that to break it up. Yeah, so I might do that, so have the blue background and then the sand colour as the puff stitches, because I can literally just repeat those few rows, which I think will be okay. So I'm going to do a row of the blue, then a row of the puffs, and then a row of blue, and then I'll go into pattern, just to break it up a little bit. And that way you've got the puffs at each end as well. It's just an idea. I'm not sure why I'm all gravelly. That's very odd. But yeah, so that is my on the seashore on the seashore blanket by Rosina Plain, and I am using King Cole Island Beaches, and this is so soft. The fact that this is just polyamide, I'm very surprised. It's softer than the standard acrylic that I normally get, so I'm very happy with this. It's going to be so squishy when it's finished. I'm working that up in a 3.75. Is it 3.5 hook, because I didn't like the coverage on the 4mm hook. But there we go. I am now on to the second ball of both of those colours, so I'm doing okay. What I didn't mention earlier was that the Wine and Roses blanket I did on a 5mm hook, because it's Caron. Yeah. So let's pop this one away and I'll show you the next one. Right, next up then I have my amigurumi project. I have finally made a start on the Toft bird subscription. I have Aria, or Aria. I haven't checked actually how it's pronounced. I'm calling it Aria. The pink-headed warbler. But I have both of the birds projects in this one bag, because it just made life easier for me. So this is where I'm at. So I have a body and a head, and that's it. I need, because I'm actually working from my phone for the pattern for this, because I haven't set up the printer yet still. So yeah, I'm working from my phone, which is not ideal, and I could use my laptop as well, but like I said, I've been working on a blanket. So I've actually only worked on this outside of the home. Yeah, I think I took this with me. I visited the wee crafty owl and I started this there. That was Thursday last week. And then I continued with it when I went to craft night, and I got to here in the pink and needed to change to the peony. So, oh no, I'd got to the peony round, this one, because there are two. I'd done pink, peony, pink, peony. I'd done the first round of peony. And then realised when I was trying to carry on that I had too many stitches and I couldn't work out why. I had 2 extra stitches. And I was completely baffled. And because it's a lot of long stitch, I didn't want to rip it back. So I just fudged it. And that's fine. I just did an extra I decreased 3 together instead of 2 together for the last 2 decreases. And that seems to have worked fine. So I have the right number of stitches, and I just need to cinch up the hole at the top. But yeah, that's where we're at. So I need to make a beak, wings and legs, and a tail. Yeah. So anyway, that is Aria the pink-headed warbler, a Toft subscription club. And I do have the next one in there as well. So yeah, I'm going to continue working on that one. Hopefully I'll get that finished during December as well. And then I can move on to the next one. And that is in a bag that I picked up from Josie Rose. I think I picked this up from her at EOYF. Not this year, last year possibly. But I love it. like, you've got the really dark tie-dye background, but then you've also got colours that pop as well. I love this bit here. This side's a bit more muted, but you've got the bigger loops. I love tie-dye fabric. I really do. And it's one thing I want to be able to do more of here. Look at that section there. I have loads of dye and plenty of fabric to play with. So maybe you'll see that coming up on the channel when this room is finally sorted. 2 more whips to go. So the next one is the Gingerbread CAL, and I did finish section 1, so week 1 in October. Yeah, I'm sure I showed you that in October. And I then started week 2, and this is as far as I got on week 2. That's 2 rows. 1 chain and 2 rows on one of the Christmas jumper panels, and then on this one I did the chain and the first row, and then I stopped because I was really worried about my tension. I know that my tension going around is different to my tension going backwards and forwards, and a lot of people in the Facebook group were saying that they had issues with the fact that their Christmas jumper panels were huge compared to when you finish the light section for week 4. So I put these on hold. Now I did measure on Monday whether what my sizes were like, and I'm a few centimeters different in terms of my central square is a few centimeters smaller, and so are the start of my Christmas jumper panels. So I think I'm actually going to be okay, but I have moved on to week 4 anyway, and that's what I'm going to show you now. It's not a lot of progress. What I have done though is wound off all the bobbins. That was the first thing I needed to do. So I have all of those in here, and I have completed the first 2 rounds of the cream around the main square, and I am now at a point where I need to start adding in my bobbins for the baubles, Christmas lights. So yeah, I'm going to keep going with that, I think, and see how far I get. My aim is to work on this throughout Vlogmas to get this done, but also I have the Toft Advent for Vlogmas as well for Christmas, but that's a small part of the pattern every day, so that's easy to keep up with. This is a bit bigger, so I'll do the sections I need to do for the Toft one and then go work on this, and I probably won't work on anything else over December, but we'll see. So yeah, that is in a bag, so I can continue with that. And that is the Sirdar. I've got the Sirdar kit for that. It is a pattern by Lindsay Noons from Lottie and Albert, and I think all parts are now out, because the idea was that you finished it the end of this week. I think the last part came out Wednesday. Today is Friday. So I know I'm behind, but that's not the point. I'm still recording each week section individually, and they will go up in the correct order, even if I haven't done them in the correct order. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, but I've worked on the other blanket, so it has been put to one side. But now I'm done. That's what I'm going to be working on. That's my main priority at the moment. That leaves me with one last thing to show you, and that is my cross stitch, which is living in, this is one of my bags that I made. This section, actually, I don't know if I think I've ever, I probably have when I first made it. So this middle panel, I went to Great British Don't Be Live, and my mum, my friend and I went and did a printing workshop with the Archie Crafty place, which is the block printing company, and this was my tester square to test the blocks to see if I wanted to use them or not. I didn't end up using this big sun, but I did use this one and the bumblebees. So I thought I'd keep my tester square and make it into something. So I've just used a batik fabric and made a little bag with my little tag on the side. So yeah, so in here I have now done 2 markets, 2 days at a local market in Glasgow, and I took this with me both days. So the progress I've made is pretty much just from doing those markets. So yeah, I'm not sure if I have a picture of it before. If I do, I'll pop it up. But I had this dark colour in, most of that dark colour in, the bottom half of his muzzle, and I had started, I think, going up in the lighter pink. When I was at the market, I finished off all of that pink, did the darker pink in here, finished his muzzle and nose, and did the ears. There is also another colour in there. When I got back, I did the 2 balls here, which are actually lollipops. And then when I went to the market again a week later, I did all of this. So we now have 2 feet at the bottom, and I need to finish off this one. So I've worked down, I'm now working back up the other side so I can continue with the same colour. But I might actually start working down, because this is where his other hand is. I was worried when I looked at whilst I was using the threads, I was like, I'm not going to have enough thread for this. And then when I double checked these, because I was using the plus from this card, this is actually my excess thread, because you get 7 strands of the colour for this one. So the rest are on here at the bottom, down here, because I couldn't put 7 on there, so there's 5 there, and I had 2 on the other one, so I've used 2 already. I'm going to have leftovers, I know I will, but I think that's pretty good progress actually for what, a couple of days work. Yeah. So anyway, that is my Care Bear. It is a DMC kit. I don't know where the actual packet is for it, but I have found 3 others. One of which is a finished one, and the other 2 are started. But yeah, this is my little Care Bear, and I will continue to work on him and try and get him finished too. Try. So yeah, that is my cross stitch, and that is the last of my whips for November. So all that's left to go through is acquisitions, and there are not that many because I have not had any money. Yeah, so my Toft Advent arrived, that is to my right. It has its own video, so I'm not going to repeat that here. And I did also manage to bag a different Advent. I was given a bit of money, so I bought a hand-dyed Advent. I'd been eyeing it up. The one that I really wanted had sold out before I was then given this money for the spares. So it's called That's So 80s. It's from the Yarn Whisperer, so Kaiti, and it is all 80s themed. So you've got Care Bears in there, you've got like Saved by the Bell and stuff like that, and all the retro things that remind me of my childhood. So yeah, I have a hand-dyed Advent for this year. I'm really excited because it is completely mad, and it's going to be really fun to open it up because it's totally not Christmas related, but I don't mind. I was really wanting to get the Blue Fern Yarns Apothecary one, but yeah, timing just didn't work out. So anyway, that is that. I have also, I went to TK Maxx the other day. I went into work to let them know about home situation and stuff, and that I would need to go back to Essex at some point in December, potentially, if it can be arranged for December. But I picked up a reindeer kit from TK Maxx, which is a Hello Crafts one. It's one of the Nitty Critters ones, and it is a reindeer. Now they have put the sticker right on top of his face, so that is the little reindeer. That's the back view. Yeah, so it's supposed to be $7.99. I got it for $4.99. And that's going to be really cute. It's going to be very quick to make up as well. I'm thinking I might put a little ribbon on his head and hang him on my Christmas tree. We'll see how big he turns out. I don't know if it tells you on here. It might tell me on the instructions. But yeah, so I picked that up. And I think, is that everything? No, I did go to the Wee Crafty Owl and I picked up pipe cleaners, because I've been asked to make some not Christmas gnomes, wedding themed gnomes. So I picked up some pipe cleaners. I only really wanted white and black, but I couldn't find a packet that was just white. So I ended up picking up a mixed packet, so I got both the colours I need. And I picked up a pattern for, is it George? George the Gingerbread Boy, which is a Wee Woolly Wonderfuls pattern. You may have seen these before from the yarn shop that was my local. Yeah, because I made the pandas from there. But yeah, so I picked this up because my friend and her stepdaughter want to make gingerbread men for Christmas. So whilst I'm teaching them to crochet, I thought I'd get a pattern for us to use. And I also picked up a little pot of embroidery needles because my sister has asked me to do a couple of little bags, like makeup type bags, and embroider names for her colleagues on for Christmas. So I kind of need to do them actually. Maybe I'll do those the first week of December to get them done. Yeah, so that is it. That's what we've got. So that's it then for November. So we're going to round off with my plans then for December. And as I've said already, it's Vlogmas come Sunday, which means it's time to open up Advent and get all nice and cozy and crafty. There is so much going on in the local towns and in Glasgow City itself. So yeah, I've got some footage already of what I've already seen, and that will be popping up along with Vlogmas. So yeah, it's been really nice to visit friends in town and just support one another, which is good. So yeah, Vlogmas is one plan. The other thing is I want to work on the Gingerbread CAL and try and get that finished before the end of the year. I've got no reason not to now, really. I haven't got a massive other project to be working on. So yeah, there's that. And I want to get Aria, the pink-headed warbler, done, so that I'm kind of up to date then with the Birds Club, because that's the only one I've kind of like dropped back on. I didn't get the last Imaginist clubs because I didn't have the money for it. I'm potentially looking at getting the yarns so I can have a go at least, but we'll see. But yeah, so the main thing I wanted to say at the end of this episode is that my aim now is to finish the year with less whips than I started it with. And I know how tricky that can be sometimes. However, I started the year with 18 whips. Like 9 of them were blankets. No, more than 9 of them were blankets. So yeah, the fact that I am currently working on 2 of them, 2 of the blankets, which is the On the Seashore one and the Granny Squares blanket. Those are 2 from my previous whip list. So they're getting progress done. There isn't really much on that list that I can finish before the end of the year now. But that's okay. So from that list of 18, I'm now working on 2. I finished 3 of them and I frogged 1. So that puts me down to 14. Now, from the new whips that I currently have, I have the Birds Club and the Gingerbread CAL as yarny whips. I'm not counting the cross stitches because they take so much longer to do. So I haven't counted the Mighty Samurai at all. My list of whips is purely knit and crochet. So that, I mean, it does count, but it doesn't count. So yeah, I have those two, and then I have Froddo. I'd forgotten about Froddo the frog. So that actually puts me at 17. So I'm still less. But the aim is I'm going to finish the pink-headed warbler aria, which will take me to 16. I could quite easily finish Froddo, which will take me to 15. And the aim is to get the Gingerbread CAL done. So that'll take me back down to 14. So yeah, if I can get another one off that list, then I will. But I'm not sure I can. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. It's not as long as I usually go with my podcasts, but it's been fun nonetheless. And yeah, it's a bit dreary outside. It's not raining as such, but it's very overcast. And the lighting's not great. So anyway, I will finish up now. I will see you all again start of the weekend, I guess, for Vlogmas. And I'll be seeing you over December. Now, because of the news I shared at the beginning of the episode, obviously there are going to be a few days potentially in December that I will not vlog for Vlogmas because it won't be right to be honest. I'll be back in Essex and it won't be right. So I will be missing a few days, but I'm looking forward to enjoying the rest of it and getting on with some Advent. So yeah, I will see you all next time. Take care. Bye.